All right, well, welcome back. This is day 4 of the Thanksgiving Streamathon 2021. I know I don't have anybody listening. I say this every time. I know I don't have anybody in the chat right now, so I'm going to start do some boring stuff, and then we'll get what's later. For anyone joining in recording, this is part two of the 2006 Bennett Levin E8 fall foliage excursion from Harrisburg to Renovo via the Buffalo Line. I was chasing this with a friend, and the first part was stuff killing time before Harrisburg, and then a lot of things around the Rockville Y. And now we are moving on to the actual, getting into the actual chase. But I will have a few more photos at Rockville of the private cars attached to the end of the train. I'm just going to start doing these now. It's nothing really exciting. If I cared, I'd edit the thing and be like, linked. You can skip ahead to this part, but this isn't my day job. So Bennett Levin owns Juniata Terminal, and they have a variety of things. I'm not sure if all of these PVs are his, but they're associated with his charters. The first is a Pullman in PR colors of Kichigami Club. This is a 6-axle heavyweight car. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sure it has a great history. I'm not a private car guru of knowing the history behind them all. These are photos that I ended up with. So these are all taken at the Rockville as it went by. They're not super exciting, but it was a who's who of what was. One of my friends was on this. By the way, this is the little Juniata Rapids, another one of the Juniata Terminal cars. These are all offered as the first class of the extra fare options, and I have since learned that these are always worth it. In this case, what I'm seeing is the people at the Dutch doors. That would have been, in hindsight, I was dumb and I should have been on these. It's like, again, I was much younger, and but I had a job and could have afforded this. And what this thing there, what they're doing, getting photos from the side of the car is what is worth so much. But again, I would have had very, very much more limited camera stuff than I had today. So ultimately, I think that I made the right choice in what I was able to get. I was able to get photos that are irreplaceable photos from a variety of other locations. So it ended up being probably better I did this. But that's that Dutch door axis there. Is gold. That's gold. If you have the option of a premium car that's air conditioned with sealed windows, or a non-premium car with openable windows, you really want that. You want whatever anything where the windows open is what you want. Even on a line that's unsignaled, you're going to get better photos. You can get a GoPro on a wand and stick it out the window. You can do all manner of get way better content than a sealed car, because that's just being completely passive. Here we have the Warrior Ridge, another one of the ones. One of these I had a friend, and oh, there's Bob. Looks like, yeah, it's him and his wife. I gotta send that to him. I don't need to redo this because I've already done it. But I will email. He was the person I was hanging out with today. This was him. I guess it would have been 15 years ago. So, good friend, and come on, glad I was able to get a picture of him. So I got to send that out to him. Hey. Looks like we got some viewers here, so I'll try to be more interesting now. I already gave a brief announcement, but I'm just doing the private varnish on the back, and I'm gonna go into where the fun starts. Oh man, what am I doing here? Okay. There we go. It's Bob Vogel of the West Jersey chapter NRHS. I didn't get a very good picture of PRR number 120 unless there's an issue. I had some issues with how things got loaded on. Hold on. Nope, that's accurate. And I believe that one of those is Bennett Levin on the this is his private car. This was like a $400 something plus option with him. Damn it. So this is what, I don't know anyone. So you had like Amfleet then you had like the 3 Pre-Vs were like, you know, whatever. One of them had a buffet, I think. And then there was something you could hang out in 120. I don't know I forget which ones had the buffet. It could be that the Amfleets had no food, the first class had a box lunch, and the last one had the buffet. PR 120 I've heard is really nice. The person whose picture you saw, this guy, this guy in the window right there, you can barely see. He got in good with the guy who owns these cars, as in he took some photos of it. The guy noticed them. I think Bob submitted them to a magazine. And then Bob basically, I remember once at Harrisburg, the Bennett Levin rolled by with 120 on the back of the Pennsylvania, and he was just like, "Hey, Bob, I see you on the platform. Do you want to ride back to Philly?" And Bob was like, "Sure." After that, Bob got on their secret private varnish person, private car owner email list and had options to go on a number of very interesting trips, including that $5,000 one to Ohio for rare mileage. And that I mean by $5,000 as in $5,000 a seat. I don't know sure if he went on that one or if he got a lower price, but he did do a couple. So it's this really fascinating world of how you get on the email list, you know, like the Beautiful People's Club. Usually it's you know, you got to have a private car to get on the private car chat. But in this case, there are other ways to get on it, and being a photographer, you know, just getting a good photo of a train is one way. So, all right, this is something I have to go and find. I know where the picture is. One second. There was another, I have to find how I was dealing with this. Hancock... Harrisburg, this one? Yeah. Yeah, this is it. I was there before. I guess this is going to be signal 304. There it is. Signal 304. This was okay. So, at this point, this is where things get exciting. Let me clue people into how this is going to work. So, it was clear that, you know, I never. It's one of those things I don't do frequently. But I'm glad I did this once. It's sort of like the Steam excursion. This was going to be like this is it's like that movie with the giant like W tree or the T tree, the mad world where everybody's like, that is exactly what this train chase was, possibly even up to including the dude getting tricked to like drive into the river. When we had parked to get our photos, there weren't a lot of people here, but Pat was sort of on the ball with this, and he was just like, we need to get out of here because, the last people out aren't going to catch the train. And every place we stopped, you had to think, how can I get away? Am I going to get parked in? So we were parked like right there. The train finished. I got that picture of 120. And if you go back and see, people are already starting to run to their cars. He's in the process of moving. So we blow out right down the road, right-hand turn, and now we are on... we just start now. My friends in the TDI Jetta, right-hand turn. We're just blasting it. This is a freeway. You can easily get ahead of it. So we weren't driving unsafe on this limited access highway. We're easily ahead of the train, on the Buffalo Line. Double track. It goes. Everybody who's driven this knows these landmarks where you sort of go under. You have the neat little flyover there. That's a fun part of the Route 11. This is Route 22 experience. The really cool Buffalo Line. No, don't get me out of it. There, the cool Buffalo Line flyover. Really nice. Anyway, sorry. And we just it's longer than you think. So first stop is there's an intermediate signal right as you get on right there, and that's where this signal bridge was. So this is where we're at. I'm just getting a picture from the side out of the car window. He's driving his car, so it's that's a nice plan there. I probably wouldn't have done this at done this crazy stuff in my car. And by the way, when I say TDI Jetta, the mileage on this car was phenomenal. We went from Baltimore up to Williamsport and back to Harrisburg on half a tank of gas. And he could also use off-road diesel or kerosene to avoid paying pesky fuel taxes. Like suckers. 1 second. And 3041. That's approach. Notice these signals are approach lit. So the excursion is in the block. He's not on that. He's on the far track. At this point, I'll be making reference to this diagram here. Now, first CP Stony, south toward Rockville. This is sort of backwards. So these, I don't know why these are marked 922 in this, because it's 300 miles. That must have been a PRR thing. The PRR must have tried changing the mileage or something. And by this point, they're all like counting down from Buffalo. So this is 304 miles from Buffalo. See, milepost 302.8. So those must have been really old PRR somethings. Next. Okay, so we set up shop at South Ferry. Now again, even though line speed, you can always assume on this entire line speed is 50 miles an hour. 50 or 40. That sounds slow, but just remember the train is going effectively as the crow flies. And while in this location near Harrisburg, it parallels a limited access divided highway, that is the exception, not the rule. So this is just like the first part of any long distance Amtrak trip is on the NEC, and you get out to this really fast little head start, and then suddenly it bogs down. So you can go directly here, and this was neat back in the day. You take 22, you go around a cool PR slide fence all around this knob there. And notice we have not left. We're still accompanying the main line. Main line's across the river. CP Duncannon is right across the river here, and right at the Duncannon Bridge, you've got CP South Ferry. And the whole Buffalo line was was an early PRS. It was a 1957 PRR CTC project. And up until the re-signaling, it had a very, very consistent signal pattern to it. Very interesting, too. We're going to get on, and I know this because the diagrams here are all this sort of PRR vintage. Oops. Updated for the Conrail era. So Stony is the first thing where it goes to single track through the Narrows. I'd been to at least one of these signal locations for photos, and now we're at CP South Ferry. And I even had a bit of time to go get some signal photos, and I'm glad I did because the South Ferry got re-signaled before the rest of the branch, so I never had a good opportunity to get pictures of it. When I say re-signaled, it was not re-interlocked. The signals were replaced, but the CTC hut was not changed. I do not know why they did this, but they did. And by the way, that red car is in the chase. So we were basically the first ones to set up at South Ferry. And that dude there is part of the chase. Let's see if I can include him because it's part of the story. I just remember, I think that car, you'll see that it's like when you're watching Bullet and you see that how many times that green Beetle is always in all the shots because they're just using different coverage. You're going to see that red car a lot. So, first stop, notice that there's slide protection signs. That was a PRR Conrail thing. No one does that anymore. Slide protection indicates if this was showing stop and proceed or restricting, that you would have different rules than normal. Basically, it could be that a slide fence is activated and you got to go in a different way. Thanks to slide detection appearing on a dispatcher panel, you don't really need those anymore. But under PRR and Conrail, signals on either side of a slide fence could be automatic as well, would have those slide protection placards on them. This is the 10R. So, as like I said, I don't know where this was controlled from. A lot of them were controlled from Case Tower in Sunbury. I don't know if Case extended down here. I think that this might have been controlled. There might have been a CTC machine at Rockville. So this is the 10L signal. 10L, yes. And this is something I would not have gotten right when I did this stuff originally. Yeah, that's a bad label. South Ferry, North High PL. Yeah, no. And badly edited too, so. How'd I put this? CP South Ferry. Okay, just making sure. Whoops. I already resigned it. I am saving. There we go. I also had time to go get pictures of this little nice handy dandy little pedestal. Note the hand scrawled slide protection placard on it. That looks good, I think. Nah, I overdid that a little bit. What's going on here? Sorry, just could use a little bit more straighten out, but not that much more. Okay, you might recognize this because it is also the, where is that? Oh, I have too many of these things open. Hold on. Oh, good, I need to get off that. That's the bad one to use. If you look under slide fence on Wikipedia, there's that's the art for the slide protection on one of the slide protection pages. I added that quite a few years ago. But now we're getting to redo it. I'm not going to re-upload it to Wikipedia. They don't get the good stuff. There we go. That's got everything I need. Try to get rid of a little bit of that blue. That looks good. This would be the... Oh, it's also the 10L. But I'm just going to call it like the 10LA. In theory, it would be LA and LB, but I'm just not gonna, because it's perfectly valid for a USNS machine to have double, ones either leveled LA-LB or just multiple 10Ls. That's gonna cause, of course, that's gonna cause collisions. So a nice just shot of the interlocking, trying to use my zoom a little bit. The interlocking was extra wide because they had a storage track here in the middle that may or may not still be there. By storage track, I mean like a dump siding, but in the middle of the tracks. There we go. South Ferry is located at milepost 297. Remember, we were at 302 earlier. So that's, there's a little bit of distance here. And there's that storage track. I'm pretty sure that's still there. I can't really, that's one of the problems is that, whatever. So note, there's an Appalachian Trail trailhead. Appalachian Trail crosses the Susquehanna River on the Duncannon Bridge. Duncannon Bridge carries US Route 22 and 322 across Susquehanna. There's your Appalachian Trail. Just remember that. There's your trailhead parking lot. Remember that. We'll get to why that's important in a second. I am just going to... Damn it. I'd like to keep those poles in the thing, if I can. Okay, that works. Some of that morning blue is starting to burn off, which is nice for the photos. But the valley is going to be heavily shaded through most of the chase. So I'm glad I have these because, like I said, CP South Ferry is they lost these signals pretty early on. Okay, that's good. And save and good. And so my idea was to, when you're doing this, was to try to line up, because I'm not. I can do. Listen, I'm decent at photography. I can compose things pretty well when I have control of the scene. But whenever I am like trying to get pictures, especially of trains where you have light at a very specific angle, I will tend to prioritize infrastructure over lighting, which makes for crappy photos. But I want to have the neat stuff in it, and sometimes you don't get that choice. And if you have to choose between lighting or infrastructure, I'm definitely going to pick infrastructure. In this case, my idea, now there's bad lighting. There's no good way to light this scene. But my idea was to have the Appalachian, to catch it as the train is passing the Appalachian Trail sign. So that was my little like quirky idea here. So also my camera is woefully inadequate for what it's being asked to do. But I was sort of happy with it. This is 5809. And I have the South Ferry thing in the background. And the other rail, you see other rail fans there lined up. This was sort of easy mode. So this is sort of the intro level. If you're ever playing a video game, getting out of Rockville, getting a picture at Rockville, and then getting your butt to South Ferry was your training level. And I got a picture of PRR 120 with the same Appalachian Trail sign. I think I put these in some sort of series before. CP South Ferry, CP South Ferry, CP South Ferry. I think I eventually might have started abbreviating it, but whatever. My original idea was to just go with names. Oh, also we have people who stood on the storage track, so kudos to them. They get an A for effort. So again, we had made efforts to position ourselves at the head of the lot, so we would have with the car going. And I think as the train went by, the friend I was with actually, like, he might have bailed early to run to the car. So yeah, not great light. Didn't have this camera is not equipped. If I had a nice DSLR with a nice lens, it probably would have been a lot better. So PRR 120. Oh, 1 second. There we go. That looks good. And boom, we cut. So normally when you're driving up the river, anyone with sense will go to the west bank and go up PA 15. That's the road that goes to Gettysburg. PA 15 is a really fast drive. It's not limited access, but it might as well be. It gets you up to Sunbury in a hurry. There's no bridge between there and Sunbury, and there's no Buffalo Line. So the first thing we did, the train passed, and we jet out of this lot in a hurry. And we catch the train pretty quick. Like, we're able to pass it. Now, again, I had no I had no digital way to really do video here, but if I was, I would have gotten out the side. And we are blitzing it. And this is like a 45-mile-an-hour road, and we're going like 70 or 80 or more. And we're going. We cross over, and you get a little bit, and this is where you start running into the issues. Because, well, first off, there's North Ferry. I have gotten photos of North Ferry. Hey, look, I even put up photos of the photos I got at North Ferry. And this is where your problem happens, because you're off. You get to there, and suddenly the train is going in the shortest route, and you are not. And this is just where this is part. There's a place with there's sycamore trees. I think it was right in here. This first little straightaway, and that train's going 50 miles an hour. There's no stop signs. There's no stoplights. It is just gonna go. And I remember in this first little part with this straightaway, we definitely were hitting 100 miles an hour on this local road. Right in those because we knew we had to get up here. Now there's a stoplight. We got to make a left. This is a town. You know, you got to slow down for the towns. And then we got to go through Halifax. Halifax is, look at this. I mean, it's not just, that's why we were going 100 miles an hour into there, because now we're into speed restrictions. We've got to go through Halifax. We were making some moves here. A lot of people made a schoolboy era where they would follow. Remember, there's also limited, there was no real GPS, no phone stuff telling you where to go. Our move was, instead of going down Main, we went as far over as we could, because we could sort of we were able to cut ahead of the number of the cars here. Oh, here's the Sycamore Alley right there, right out of Halifax. That's where we were hitting. And when we came down in Halifax, maybe we did take Main Street, because I remember when we got here in Halifax, the crossing lights were activated and the train was passing. So we were tied with the train at this point. This is the Sycamore Alley coming out of town, because now we know where the train is and we know where we want to go. Yeah, here are all the sycamores. I told you, I remember this like it was yesterday. I mean, I take this route a lot. This is where we're going, just like 100 miles an hour, all the way down there. We were just, I don't know, but just, I remember that one point. But this is where, again, we're along the tracks, and now we're in Millersburg. I think we're ahead of it at this point. Pretty, if not, maybe we saw the cross and we caught up to it. We might have had to catch up to it. Oh yeah, we would have had to catch up to it at Millersburg. So Millersburg is where the crossing gates. We saw the crossing gates were down, crossing Moore Street. So we caught up to it here. And then again, pedal to the metal, got out of town, and that's where you hit South Miller. These sidings, which would be somewhere in here. Actually, I can't remember if it was, yes. And Miller is the interlocking that is like the most convenient interlocking to visit anywhere. Or one of them. Because, you know, it's right there. Well, this is where I still got the PLs. You can literally park at it. This is before it got re-signaled. CP North Miller, milepost 280. So this is 17 miles north of where we took the first photo. And I got there. So we parked on the side of the street over, like, off to the grass. We can't see the car, so we must have parked right there. I have it ready. I jump out. I got this picture of the clear signal indication displayed on the signal there. Next one, I gotta find the Miller one. North Boyles, North Miller. There it is. This is signal 20R. Well, both signals 20R. Crop that in a little bit. It was interesting on during another Amtrak charter, like fall charter that didn't go up here. I went up here to get better photos of all these signals. And there we go. That looks good. As I said, PLs look best in low light and fog, so. They say 20R? Yeah, 20R clear. All right, let's see if anybody has any questions in the chat. Hopefully you might. Feel free to give me questions if you have any. Oh, come on. I grabbed a nice picture of the pedestal here. This is night. This part of the line, I said it's approach lit, but in hindsight, I'm not sure if it is. Some of them, I remember some of them were. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of the CTC project was not approach lit. But there usually wasn't anything ever pulled up. At least not when I was there visiting. Close enough. Cute little. For the record, the Buffalo Line was one of the first. Was one of the major test installations of using red lenses in the stop position. There's also one of the very, very, very few locations where you have pedestals with the red lenses. They can only be used for non-clear indications where you have no clear route, like off this siding here, where it can give medium approach, medium clear, or restricting. But there was no approach or clear on this, and there weren't a lot of locations where this would happen. This is the Buffalo Line was I think one of the only, might have been even the only place where you saw these red lensed PEDs, but I'm not sure of that. I always forget how you spell pedestal. Duh. Pedestal. That's why it's always wrong. I should probably verify some of my names for this stuff real quick. Not that one. This one. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to verify how I'm doing the naming. Oh, I do S. Shoot. It should be S. Miller and N. Miller. Alright, good to know. South Ferry I might have an exemption on. Do I do anything with Ferry? Nah. Doesn't look like it. Alright. That picture is going to have a bit of a story. Okay, anyway, sorry, back to the show. Just me, more signal pictures for now, but we'll get to something more interesting in just a second. Notice more vehicles. Notice the red car has reappeared. Right there. See him? Almost all these vehicles you see are involved in the chase. And they're all looking for parking because everybody's looking to see where. It's just like that Mad, Mad, Mad World movie. It's just this bonkers crew of people. Now, my friend who was up here had experience on this road. He had family or something up in the Sunbury area and knew where like all the speed traps and stuff were. So he was very familiar with it. Note, this is the interlocking that you can go find my video where I call it. Because when I was searching for pictures of this location, I found a phone book entry for Conrail Signal Bungalow North Miller. And you can call it. I tried it once and it didn't work, and then I did it again and it did. And I have video before it got resignaled and ripped out. I have a good YouTube video of me calling the 1950s Bell Model 500 blah 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 phone in the North Miller Signal House, and it's a really fun video. Oh, come on. I don't want all these weeds in the shot. If you're already kind of watching the channel, you can go. You can wait till I'm done if you want, or not. I'm not the boss of you. Let's see what I went with this on this one. Yeah, this will give me a chance to clear out these. I love the Conrail sign with the milepost is just my absolute favorite. Note, rail fans, note the red car. Had a good amount of time here. I even got a picture of the switch, which happens to be the 19 switch. Note a couple things of note. I don't know. Let's see. First off, are these low voltage or high voltage? Because that matters for pedantic people like myself. Might say somewhere. Installed 1957. Hotbox detector 1964. All signals, position light, switches 27, 25, 1917 type M3 24 volt DC. So this is a little bit of useless trivia if you care, but it's sort of the history of technology. A major reason that pneumatics were used even in sort of weirdo locations, like there were and are on the Buffalo, there were on the Buffalo Line locations where you'd have like two switches and a pneumatic compressor, was because these in what I call remote locations such as this only had access to 24 volt signal power. That was usually either fed from batteries or the 440 volt pole line power, which was subject to interruption. So this is a 24 volt DC unit. Note the rounded motor case here indicates that it's one of the very older models. And the issue with 24 volt DC is that you didn't have a lot of torque amps, to run this. So they would gear it really, really low, I guess. So instead of going in, today you see videos, especially you can see some of my videos or others of an M3 throwing, and it's like, and it's over 2 seconds, or if that. A low voltage DC machine, would take 20 or 30 seconds to throw. And that's on top of the code line coding. So you have to code out the command, and then the machine, like the interlocking would do its thing, then tell the switch to throw, and it would go, and it would hum and do its thing, take about 20, 30 seconds. Then it would get your indication, then it would pull up a signal and eventually transmit that back to the dispatcher. Oops, 1 second. 19 switch M3 side plus points. One of my most interesting finds once was where I posted photos and they weren't M3s, they were M2s. I don't even know where those exist anymore, but that was on the old CNO, the Amtrak Cardinals CNO route. So this would be the 20L signal. somewhat ironically, NS would actually do a rehab on these interlockings. The switches were replaced, new cabling was laid, the original relay logic was retained, and they did that around 2010, 2012, only for this to get wiped out in the PTC bullshit of 2018. So they did do a nice little rehab for them, fresh paint and everything. But that also spelled the end of those low voltage DC machines. Oops, forgot to resize. That's better. And my setup for this was trying to get 5809 in front of the North Miller shed. My camera, again, was just not really equipped for this sort of low light, whatever the problems with here. So it's a little blown out and grainy and poorly color corrected. But what can you do? I thought this looked good back in the day on my Chromebone monitor. $58.09. Looks good. All right. Next. I don't know where this is, so let's go to the map. I hope you guys are having fun. So that was North Miller. Oops, sorry, Halifax. Miller. There's CP North Miller. We ran to the car, got ahead of it again, and I think this location is right up in there. Or it's somewhere the farm crossing. Don't think it was there. See, that's where we should have gotten a photo of it. Right there. But we didn't. I'm not sure where we would have had another opportunity to. So I'm thinking that there was a farm crossing there or something. Farm crossing could have been removed. But that's where we should get in a picture. This bridge, any number of this stuff would have been really good for that bridge. But as you can see, the road then totally splits off for quite a long period of time. Unless, oh, there it is. It's north of Deanna. So we just book it. Come on. This isn't bad. Got some actual foliage in this one. Not sure what I can really do to make it better. Probably a little bit of cropping. Let's see what I can do. Gonna have to crop out some of the foliage, unfortunately. But there we go. That's better. Little soft though. Not great. So this is PRR. These two plus the excursion at that place. So this is now our third time we've caught the train. So wait, no, sorry. Rockville, South Ferry, North Miller, Dalmatia. That's 4. Doing pretty well here. So this is I think we were trying to get I don't know if this has to have been in the car. And this is a really neat location for signals. Most of the signals had been replaced pretty early on, even in the Conrail era, with Conrail Triolights or NS ones. This pair of split PLs lasted quite a bit longer, and 1 second here. Just gotta adjust this. There it goes. Let me just see where this, if I can identify where that location is. I think it's right along. Yeah, it's right there. I wonder if close these off. Let's see if this is updated. I bet it hasn't. Nah, they still got the position lights for these. But they've been clearly replaced by NS heads. So I said I'd have something for you later. I was actually getting photos of these signals when I caught an NS freight train heading by them, including an 80 Mac, number 7222. I'm not even sure I noticed it was an 80 Mac. I might not have even noticed it was an 80 Mac at the time. That's a shame that they were so close to getting rebuilt into 80 ACUs of 5,500 horsepower. That would have just been absolutely phenomenal. Damn, so close. Anyway, what do I call this? Buffalo Line signal, whatever this is. Fuck, come on. All right, did I at least get the cut? Ugh, gonna have to really mod this to heck and gone. Okay, good. 73N lit plus 273S. So does this count catching it again? Not really. We were pacing at this point. We weren't really ahead of it. All right. There is one additional location that my friend wanted to catch it. So at this point, we're going to go straight up to Northumberland because we know that we're going to have limited abilities to get photos of it. I think he had one location in mind, and I'll try to find it, of his idea. Part of this involves... this is where you have to take the longest detour. There's actually an over-the-hill little thing, but normally people come up to this crossroads and cut back into the valley. That's the fastest. And what my friend wanted to do is he had this location where it was you could get a picture of the train across a field. But I don't remember where it is or where it was. But just notice that one of the advantages is that on the uphills, the Jetta has amazing high-end torque, so it could go from 50 to 70 faster than most people can, like faster than a normal engine. So there's a lot of areas like here where you get like upgrades where they have the passing lane, and we were just able to fly by everybody else or the slower vehicles doing that. So there's Boyles. I don't know where that location where he knew where the farm field was and wanted to get a picture. It could have been right there, but I'm not sure. This is now a rail car, like, something or other facility. Oh, it's transloading. So, anyway, we just went express at this point to Sunbury. If I can get up there. Because Sunbury slows down. And we just went direct. Not sure we went outside of town. We just went right to the station at Northumberland where the old CP Nori was. And so we're going to pick up from there. Let's see how far up my stuff goes. Oops. Oops. Nope, Stony. This is South Ferry. Which one's this guy? Horn. Case. Nori. There we go. This is where they had those famous suspended signals. But we did not see those at this point. These are just Nori's southbound position lights. This is when Nori was still pneumatic even, and I'll get to that in a second. Let's see what I was calling all this stuff. Blah, blah. Man, I lit this up more. Maybe I should have done that. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's overprocessed. That's what it is. Here we go. Yeah. So I have all of the signals in this image, so I'm just gonna save it up as one. I'll do a. Want to do any cropping? I'll do a little cropping. I just want the top of that. There it goes. Southbound. And next, we have... Do I get all four? Yeah, I got all four of them in here. That's good. And the rail insulated joints, too. Bonus. Sorry. And I mean, these are just sort of the dump ones at the end. Now I actually get to do this. Is so the yard was in the middle. So you have your siding track is at the far is at the bottom here, which would be the west side. East side is your main track, and then there's 2 yard leads coming out. This has been redone, but the signaling, like the stuff is all the same. They might have also put in a reverse crossover there. We can zoom in and check that out, but I don't think so. No, they've not. By the way, it's behind the station. There is a restaurant. I've never eaten there. They have a rail car. It's lettered as Pennsylvania, but it's actually a DL&W-MU. So, you know, some of us notice those things. So anyway, I need to actually see what signal this was. This is the 76L. Oops. What's odd is that when I did these photos with before, I wasn't using any of the lever numbers. I don't know why. Maybe I was. Let's see. No, I was. Cool. All right, never mind. And I did get to Nori before it was resignaled. And here we go. Unfortunately, bad lighting. Not much I could really do. Well, I guess I could have been on the other side of the tracks. But the issue with, again, for that situation, the issue with that is then you get caught out of position regarding getting away in your car. What was odd was I think I actually dawdled a bit getting some switch photos. So I'm not sure why I did that. But nah, this is just not a great picture. I do get some good ones, don't worry. Oh, that's the location. Alright. I'm hoping that I don't have any of these in weird orders. Oops. I was wondering why I couldn't find it. I know that I had photos of it. So, here's a better photo angle of that pass. First off, let me see if people are chatting in the chat. Yeah, at least the D9s are getting rebuilt, but I don't care about GEs because they're terrible. At least it seems that it's interesting that it's interesting that the quality improved between the Dash 8s and 9s enough. NS sort of gave up on its Dash 8 rebuilding program. I'm not sure why. Here, I just have some rail fans, the parking thing. I feel like I'm missing some photos here. Like, I could have sworn I got some Northumberland stuff that's missing. Hold on. Side. That one. Nope, I guess not. I guess it makes sense that I didn't get any of the air plant. Maybe that was like, I think I remembered that, oh crap, there was an air plant there and I never even noticed it. Alright, next. And we have Bennett, Levin, and crew hanging out on the end. I forget what the buy-in for that was. At $400 would have been, even a $400 price point would have been a steal to get that sort of rear vestibule action on this line. So I think this is the 5th time we've now caught the train at Rockville, South Ferry, Miller, that place in Dalmatia. That's 4. This will be 5. All right, and now we're at the 6th place we've got the train. This is a location my friend was aware of. This is the place where I wanted to do North Miller, although the lighting was terrible. He really wanted to see it at this place. I just gotta find where it is. It's somewhere north of town. It could be. Oh, it's. I'm pretty sure it was anywhere along in here. We have this road and these empty farm fields, and you can get it, and that's likely why. I forget where we were having some issues. There was one place where we were like having to go really slow because there was like a cop around, and it was like a local speed limit. It might have been in Milton. I don't think it was Northumberland. You can get out of Northumberland pretty quick. Anyway, I think that's where it was. It was along one of these 2 farm fields. Note that they're building a new highway out there, including a new bridge across the Susquehanna. That'll definitely speed some stuff up, especially if it can connect south of Sunbury. That will be huge for bypassing this whole congestion nightmare. So I'm going to proclaim that that's all just there. And whatever that town name is. Oh, come on. Chili's. No, it's something in Native American that I can't pronounce on site. All right. Anyway, this is actually the first like nice photo I have of it. But not bad. CHILIS QUAQUE. And the private cars. I think I see some frost on the ground there. Yeah, definitely lacking the megapixels to pick up this one adequately. So that's the 6th time we've caught the train. Just got to straighten this out. A little hard to find a horizon level reference, so I just got to eyeball it. Yeah, I think I see there's the farm. So I can try to like match it up again. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, is that the farm? It was somewhere, or maybe it was somewhere in there. I don't know. Yeah, definitely before we turned into a freeway. So now we're on this limited access highway that only went down to there. So we were able to quickly get pretty far ahead of it. But our plan was to we wanted to cross over at Montgomery. So we had to get off the freeway here and go through Watsontown. Where I sort of remember driving past CP Watt. Although it could have been that this limited access highway didn't exist at the time. Once you get on a limited access highway, you can easily keep ahead of it. But our plan was to get ahead. So we needed to get to Williamsport. But specifically, and our plan was instead of going up and around, we were going to come in from the south, and we were going to meet it at South Williamsport because there was a good signal picture right there. So that was our plan, and I think that we wanted to catch it one more time at Montgomery, but I'm not sure if that just happened or if that was our plan. But whatever it was, we were at the crossing in town, and we're number one on the runway. And I got my best photo of the day. We had just come up there, and the crossing. We did not wait. We were number one on the runway, and the crossing went off, and I got my best picture of the whole day of the train. I mean, of the train itself. I'm sure I got some better signal stuff. Yeah, this one's just fantastic. Now the sun has come up enough that you're actually getting, some legitimate sun on it. Oh, I have this as Watsontown, and it's really not. Here we go. Now, I feel like I was out of the car at this, so maybe we did get pulled over, and I got out for this. But whatever it was, we didn't have to wait long. If we did wait. Oops, didn't reset the thing. Sorry if this is taking too long here. A lot of good story to tell. Yeah, being able to wave at the Dutch doors is just the greatest thing. Apparently Amtrak was being anal about private car people, like both doing Dutch dooring or hanging out on the back. Not sure how well rigorously that's enforced, though. Anyway, so we were able to execute on our plan to travel on route whatever up and over, because our plan was to get on 15, transfer from Montgomery up to 15, go up and over and down right in here at South Williamsport, and the signal was somewhere right in there. Not sure if it's still there today, but that's where it was. I think it was right there. So this is the 291N, 219. It's a position light, but it's a 1986 Conrail style, when they were putting in the double-sided one, so it's not a split position light like that one you saw earlier. Notice the spiral cut corrugated pipe to anchor down the footing for it. And it's clear for the approaching train. Let me just see what I have going on for this. Got there. Oops. Forgot to do my thing. Not sure how many there were on this. I should try to again. I thought that was down and right in there. Because it was right next to a grade crossing. Yeah, it would have had to have been there, but it looks like they moved the signals around a little bit. Sorry to make you dizzy. Alright, can't find it. Not Karen. Next, just picture that. This is one of those situations where the signal is clearly not at a right angle, not vertical. Yeah, that's more accurate. Yep, same thing. And again, I'm expecting this to sort of be approach lit, so you can assume the train's in the block at this point, or maybe not. No, I'm lingering a bit, so I guess it wouldn't be approach lit. Ugh, come on. That's good enough. I love the scenery here in Williamsport. It's really nice. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do a magic wand selection on that stuff that's dark, and then lighten it up independently. I don't usually do that, but sometimes it comes in handy with things like shaded signals. There we go. It's a little bit better. 219N. And I think the train shows up at the next point. Nope, I got more time for one last little jobber. Really glad I took these, because these are no longer there today, that's for sure. Reminds me of the Marion branch for these double-headed PLs. Gonna have to figure out how to spell silhouette again. Never remember that one. Because this is the side, I eliminate the directionality. So Conrail, the way they numbered, it would be a milepost, a track number if necessary, and then a direction, N or S. So this here we see both the 219N and 219S signals. They're both 219. That's where you have the issues with the milepost ones, which I hate, where one signal is like 535 and the other one is 534, and it's never set like how they decide what they're doing. And here it is at this location. We're right inside where the berm is at a private crossing. Again, I'm almost positive it's like right there. Wonder if I can get a thing. Nope. Anyway, let's see what we can do with this. This is also a really nice photo. I'm not even sure if it needs cropping. If it does, I'll start it on that side with the rail. Yeah, right, perfect, right there. Not 100% on the sunshine, but pretty good anyway. That looks great. PRR, there's a whole story between the Reading went to Williamsport, the PRR did. There's there's a South Williamsport. There's like a bypass line to go into Williamsport proper. Yeah, all sorts of fun in that one. Down to our second to last thing there, almost done. And there's only 11 in this set, so hopefully it'll get you out a little earlier. By the way, that would be train catching the train for the 7th time. And I just go bonkers getting it passing that PL here at South Williamsport. It looks like my mouse started working again. We'll see how long it holds up. If you're wondering, the issue with it is the micro switches wear out. It's almost like the debouncing failed. Let's see what this looks like. There you go. That's not that bad. Hey, maybe that's like the Tin Whiskers that or that whatever. Okay, so this is going to be it's going to be 1 second. I'm back to full power here, at least temporarily. Nice. So just a good picture with the signal at clear. Same thing with the signal no longer at clear. Shoot that out. Like, how long do I want that? Right there is fine. Nice. And On to the, oh, we got PR 120, same place. There we go. Sorry for the dullness. At this point, all of our crazy driving and everything was sort of over. We were there was now ample limited access highways. So we were able to pretty much just hop on. I think we just went across the river, and we just went straight express to Lock Haven, where we had ample time. So that's the. In hindsight, we probably should have gotten off and tried to catch it at somewhere like Laurel, but I don't think we really. I think whatever the decision was, we just were like, we're gonna catch it straight at Lock Haven, trying to get a picture either at the station or something. So we were just gonna go straight to Lock Haven. Lock Haven was the original home of the Piper Aircraft Corporation. If you're interested where we are, this is still like AM. You know, we're before. I think it's still noon, before noon, and we're way the heck up here. It is when you're in Lock Haven, you don't feel like you've driven a lot because you've probably done a lot of rail fanning on the way up to Lock Haven. But you are up there. This is 200 miles from Philadelphia. Probably a similar number from Harrisburg. You know, it's a hike, especially if you, instead of taking 80 back, you go locally via Williamsport and then 180. So I've been in Lock Haven twice now. This and one additional time, maybe even no, just one additional time. And at some point you realize how far up you are. Interesting. This is the old Lock Haven signal bungalow. Oh, damn. The door was open. It's like, why didn't I notice that? Why didn't I go up there? Why didn't I see it look inside? Oh. No. Oh, I hate when I notice stuff like that. Oh, man, I really went to town on that one to try to lighten it up, but man, it just looked bad. What the heck? Must have made a mistake there. So I thought this was something with a tower. This is just, it's been elevated for flood control purposes. So I think that Lock Haven was one of the locations where you had a CTC office. I don't think that my stuff gets up there. Molly, Watsontown, Pine. Oh, I do get up to Lock Haven. This doesn't even have the original signal diagrams on it. Lock Haven, CTC controlled by Harrisburg. Probably was not that originally. Might be able to go and figure that out where it was from. Sorry, Lock. K Tower, Lock Haven. Nope, nothing new. There's Case and Sunbury. We'll get back to Case in a second. All right. Yeah, this is. I thought that was like an old tower. So by the way, the PRR contracted with a supply company in Philly. This is their CTC huts. Of course, the PRR is going to have to do things. their way or the highway. And they put a lot of effort into this CTC structure here. I don't think that actually needs a sharpening. Why didn't I go in there? What was I thinking? Oh, God. Could have seen all the neat stuff from a 1957 CTC project. Sorry. By the time I got back here, Lock Haven had already been re-signaled. So this is the only time I ever got out to Lock Haven. NS did its re-signaling in little fits and starts, and the Lock Haven area went first after the South Ferry stuff. When I got back to Lock Haven, they'd ripped out all the signal north of here, and they'd parked it in the lot. I got pictures of it, but I didn't take anything. I really should have. I don't have the original CTC numbers on these on the diagram. All that is labeled as 4S. The Nittany and Bald Eagle line is off to the right there. That goes down to Tyrone. I'd like to shorten this up a little bit. Crop that arm off. There it goes. Needs a little bit more of a straighten. Crazy, my mouse just started working again. One of those things of this is happy ground where you'll hit like not enough, too little traffic for PTC resignaling, and then it's got to be just enough to keep the signaling. Buffalo Line fell below the Mendoza line so far that they ripped out the signaling. 4S rear wide. All right, getting down there. In this case, the train came early, and I think that we were like, we're done for the day, because it was entirely possible that I needed to catch a Harrisburg line back to Philly, and I don't know if that's the case or not. Might have been. Sounds dumb, but And notice my whole point here was to line it up next to the signal. Which I can enhance a little bit. Not great lighting. But still nice. S. Now I moved a bunch of other Lock Haven photos into the other folder. That'll be tomorrow. Oh, this is nice. I got this cool thing with a lady and her kid watching it go bad. I don't think that they were associated with the event at all in terms of coming out to chase it. At this point, the people probably were being served lunch. It probably was around noon at this time. Almost done. Coming at the end. Just a... What? I guess I didn't push these into tomorrow. I guess we're doing them today. Just a couple of the oddball tower at Lock Haven. I did look into the lower floor. I think it was just a bunch of like maintainer equipment. This is in the front of it, so this would be just the southbound angle close. CP. Oops. Where are we here? CP Lock Haven. This is going to be the number 7 switch. There was a full crossover at Lock Haven. I think there was a bunch of people. I think there were people in the yard, so I wasn't going to go super exploring. I also was running very low on photos. I was right at the end of my first card. So this would be, what, 7 what? 7A or 7B? Let's see if we can get any hints. No, no hints. I'll just call it A. And it was just amazing. Like, you'd go up there and it's like, wow, everything's pneumatic. Like, and there's not a lot of motivation for it. Here's the air plant with the 7A switch sort of behind it. Again, notice things are elevated due to flooding. I suspect that this area gets flooded a lot. Tomorrow will be a bit shorter. No, wait, this is the last bit today. Sorry. Sorry, no, tomorrow we'll have a thing, but it won't be the continuation of this. And I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's kind of ending a little anticlimactically here. But this is nice. This is a good picture of Lock Haven. The Lock Haven relay hut. There we go. I feel like I want it a little wider, but I don't know how to get that. Oh, I can just do a square. There it goes. Now, at some point, yeah, it looks like the door is closed now. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I just missed my chance. I forget what was going on. Sometimes I get a little shy if depending on the situation. Mainly if I have something to lose, I don't want to piss anybody off. This is also way more in the time of getting harassed. So, Let's just do a quick Google Street View before I leave of seeing what's there today. Those PR era relay huts generally tended to stay around even after the resignaling. This is pre-resignaling in 2015. Look, see, they even painted it nicely. So it just goes to show that they did all this maintenance just to then rip all this stuff down. This track, you'd think that there'd be a signal on it, but not. It goes just straight into the yard with no signal. The only signals are on this track, and I think there was something right there. Yeah, there was two dwarfs protecting that one. So, thank you for, let me see if there's any questions in the chat here. Thank you for watching my my fall foliage thing. I can't remember the last time they ran. They'll run again, I'm sure. It's not that I didn't have the time. I was clearly there for a little bit before the E8 came. I can't remember if I noticed or not. I think maybe I did, and I just didn't feel like trying to. I think there was a guy there. If it's on the ground level and the door's open, you can sort of hang out. But walking up a ladder and sticking your head in is a little different. I did have my friend there, and then the train showed up. So, anyway, I'm still shy about getting inside stuff. Even if I get invited over, I don't want to. It's like, oh, time to whip out my phone. That's what makes the employees really, really sort of like on edge. And I don't want to ruin it for the next guy. I don't want to be like, hey, come on over. Then I'm whipping out my phone and acting like a turd. That just puts a bad taste in the mouth of the people who are trying to be nice. So I'm always aware of that. And so that is it for now. There's a whole second end to this. So after this, I went to a number of locations. More photos at Northumberland. Other signal photos from the Buffalo Line, especially in the North Laurel Y. That's mainly what it is, but it's just signal photos. I mean, I'll do this. There'll be a stream where I'm doing this, and you'll get to watch. Don't worry. But for Thanksgiving and all the other stuff, we're going to go back in time. We're going to cut ahead about a month when I went on the Cardinal with my same Amtrak friend. He was able to get the employee discount on the Cardinal Sleeper. And I did my first attempt at a signal documentation survey on the C&O. I did 2 or 3 more of these to varying degrees of success. But this was the first one, and it's going to be about 106 photos, so that's going to be 2 long sessions. That's what people said they wanted, so that's what people are going to get. And we got everything. We got the Thurman post office, we've got coal docks, we've got everything in this, but most of the photos stink in terms of quality. They're not great. So tune in for that. And that'll be tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to schedule it for 11 o'clock, and then it'll be Friday night at the normal time. Thank you for joining. Throw up any questions if you got them. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Stay safe. Remember to fast so you can eat more at the end of the day. And I will see you then, and I'm sorry for the long period of time. Hopefully with my mouse temporarily working, it'll go faster tomorrow. All right, see you. Bye.